We have to talk about the finale, specifically that karaoke scene. It is such a departure from everything we've seen, not just for Santos and Mel, but for the show as a whole.
Yeah.
Were you surprised when you first read it?
Yes.
I'm sure she'd make a really excellent mother.
What did you feel it was meant to represent as a final button to the season?
At face value, it's like what I think this show does very well is it'll show some of the most traumatic you've ever seen in your life, and then a funny moment will happen, and that is the ER. That is working in a hospital. That is gallows humor. That is how people survive doing a job like this.
It's nothing like getting wasted and just absolutely wailing to shake off a show like today.
I could use a fun night.
I feel like it's in line with that kind of vibe of you're gonna watch 15 hours of people having the worst day of their lives, and then let's end it on something a little silly. But once I sat with it for a while, I was happy that it shows some hope that she will hopefully like reach out and lean on people and make friends, because she's the one who brings it up. It's so surprising. She's the one who's like, do you want to go out? Like, that's crazy for her.
You know what, all this. Do you want to go get a drink?
Me?
I think it's really a special moment of hope. Maybe she'll be okay. And also you see, it's like, oh, she just wants connection, even though everything she does is so the opposite of it.
Admit that you like having me as your roommate.
You are such a Barry. Have fun with Robbie's plants.
She wants friends. She's just been scared to have them because she's lost them. And this is hope that she will start to reach out and start to lean on other people.
That moment where Santos takes it upon herself to let Mel's hair down. Was that scripted or something you and Taylor found in the moment?
It came from a conversation we were having about just like, oh, what are we going to look like at the end of this? Like, since we're showing like we've gone somewhere else, I was like, oh, I should be in a different outfit because she thought she was going out with Garcia later. So she's going to put on a cute outfit because she thought she was going on a date. Also, last season, people loved when I took my hair down, and I was like, let's take it down again. And then John Wells was like, he gets very specific about like, well, okay, but it can't look good. It can't look like your hair shouldn't look good though, because you worked a 15-hour shift. And then he was like, also, we need it to look different. And we were playing with, Mel didn't know she was going to be going here. And so she didn't have like a change of clothes. She looks exactly as herself. And we were like, oh, but how fun would it be if she took her hair down too? And they were telling her like, yeah, you can take your hair down. I was like, I should do it for her, because like she wouldn't do that. Like, I think it's a moment of silly goofy, but also again, like, oh, Trinity can be good at having friends.
Santos refers to karaoke as primal scream therapy.
Yeah, I love that.
Which, yeah, I love it. And it suggests that she knows she needs an outlet, even if she's been avoiding the trauma counselor.
Yeah.
What does that tell you about where she is in terms of actually facing what she's dealing with? Where do you hope we find her when we pick back up in season 3?
Yeah, she's probably pretty resistant to therapy. She's Filipino. I'm Filipino. Karaoke is big. Filipinos. And also mental health talk is not always super present or important in Asian communities all the time, especially with, I imagine, like me, she has an immigrant parent, and maybe mental health is really not talked about because that can be really taboo. And so I think that's always something she's avoided, but karaoke has always been a part of her life because that's a part of her culture. And that's where she goes to put it all in, because we've also seen she does sing. She is a real Filipino healthcare professional. She sings. That's the hope that lingers. There is fun in her future. Hopefully she's not always going to be sad and angry. Like, just take some karaoke and a friend.
Santos is often the most perceptive person in the room when it comes to everyone else. And we've seen her bond more with Robbie this year.
Yeah.
There's this growing concern about where Robbie is mentally and the self-destructive path he's on as he heads off on this grand ego death spirit quest. Do you see Santos and Robbie as two people cut from the same cloth?
I think there are similarities. I think the bigger thing is I think she's latched onto him in a way because he's one of the only other people who knows what happened with Langdon.
You have to figure out a way of working with him now that he's back.
Or until he relapses.
When Langdon like screamed at her, he like stood up for her.
This kind of behavior will not be tolerated. I don't want to see it.
When she told him what she knew, he believed her. That, I think, is a big thing for her, as we've seen little tidbits of her past traumas. She's been through abuse, and I think she has had experiences of authority figures not believing her. Having an authority figure who believes her is kind of intoxicating. It's amazing. And I think she has latched onto him in that way where he feels like a safe space. And also as he's kind of like the renegade of the ED where he could just kind of do whatever he wants. And I think she enjoys that because she also likes to kind of do things her way. But I feel like in the last couple episodes, you see a bit of that looking up to him kind of breaking a bit, because I think she is seeing just how imperfect he is and how similar their mental health struggles are. I think it's easier to put your faith in someone when you see them as strong and like they're going to be fine. But as she sees like, oh, he's not well, that makes her feel even more alone. Because I think she has less of a pillar to hold on to and to keep her standing straight. Watching the cracks show in him reveals some more of her own to her, and that can be really scary amidst everything else that's going on, all the other disrupting things that have happened in the day. I think it's just the final straw.
You know, I know men like you.
You mentioned her history of childhood abuse.
Yeah.
This season, we learned that she also has a history of self-harm. When did you first learn that that was part of her story, and how did it inform the choices you made this season?
We talked a little bit about, like, when we've had our first character talk before season 1 even started filming, and they gave kind of a broad overview of her background. They had said, they were like, you know, she has these mental health struggles. She's had this past, like, we don't fully know what's going to be explored, but we've talked about maybe self-harm, eating disorder, something like that. Some sort of version of self-harm would be a part of her history. But then once season 2 came around, when we were leading up to episode 7, I think is when it's first revealed, Scott emailed me and was like, we have this idea of her, we see her scars. How do you feel about that? Are you comfortable with that? And I was kind of nervous, just because I think sometimes you can see in media misuse of self-harm storylines, where it can be used to prop someone else up, or just as kind of like trauma porn, or romanticizing it, or even sexualizing it, like all kinds of things. It can be kind of a slippery slope. So I was like, oh, this is a great conversation to have, but also we need to make sure we do it right. And I still don't fully know how it all comes. We don't see the episodes ahead of time, so I still don't know how any of it really lands. But since it's such a sensitive topic and something I care a lot about, I was really nervous about it, but also excited to get to represent that, because it is a really big thing in a lot of people, but also in medical professionals. And I think the whole show looks at mental health issues through every single character. It's just from different vantage points, and everyone copes in different ways, and this is her way. And I was happy that we got to address it. And when I saw people's reactions to that scene where we see the scars, it was really, really heartwarming to see people be like, oh my God, like, I've never actually seen this on like mainstream media, seeing actual scars that really look like how they look. They're in a realistic place. They're in, like, this is actually my experience, and it being very obviously emotional, but cathartic too, to see it represented so truthfully. I was very, very happy about that.
Yeah, when I spoke with Scott about that reveal, I asked about the scars themselves and whether they were meant to look old, whether they were meant to look more recent, and he had told me how, they asked VFX to make some of them look a bit newer. And then, we have episode 12, and you have that quick succession of events, the implosion of the relationship with Garcia, the confrontation with Langdon, and now finding out that she may be losing a roommate in Whitaker. We then see her take that scalpel from the suture cart.
Yeah.
Given all that precedes that moment, what do you think that moment reveals about what she's carrying right now and what she's trying to avoid?
I think as we've seen from the end of season 1, she opens up about her friend who took her own life. And we can kind of surmise that all the people that she's gotten close with in her life have either hurt her or left her.
There isn't a day that I don't regret not being able to stop my friend. But there also isn't a day that I'm not grateful I didn't do the same.
That has informed a lot of who she is and why she can be such a prickly person, because she puts up this wall because she's been hurt so many times and doesn't want to be and doesn't ever want to be the victim again. And so that's why she punches outward. And seeing this day is just kind of a day from hell, as the Pitt often is. But Langdon coming back, the person who the last time she saw him, he screamed at her that she doesn't belong here. Robbie, a safe space, leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Whitaker, leaving. Like, it's, even though she's not, maybe she doesn't even have the full story on if Whitaker is leaving yet, but it's triggering everything of like, of course, I knew it. Everyone's going to leave me. Why get close to anyone? And I think that grabbing the scalpel is like the height of the struggle against that feeling of like, everyone is going to leave or hurt me, so why don't I just hurt myself? And it's a very upsetting sort of offense.
Mm-hmm.
But it comes from such a real place. Like you really, it's, once you really think about all of those things and her history of it, it all tracks as to why this is the moment. And why, because there's that panic. I think the panic of, oh, everything is going wrong. And in my brain, it feels so big. And it's like, oh, this is a horribly public place to do this. It's just, like, why are you grabbing this now? But it's that panic of like, what do I do? And it's addiction. I mean, we talk about addiction with Langdon. This is another form of addiction. This is needing that thing that is going to make you feel better for a second in whatever twisted way that is. And I loved to see fans picking up on her making that comment of like, until he relapses. And then she goes and grabs this guy. Like, she's talking about herself. Like, that's what she hates the most about him, is she sees herself. And that's what he hates the most about her, is he sees himself in her. Like, it's almost like it's good writing. But yeah, it's a very tense kind of culmination of all of those things.